What's up, guys? King Richard here, bringing you my latest dueling build. This build is specifically for dueling. You can 1vx pretty well with this build, but I'm putting this build together for October's update, which is update 12. It's going to be releasing official dueling into the Elder Scrolls Online series, and I want to be ready for that. I'm sure some of these new sets that we'll be testing out on PTS may possibly be better than what I'm currently running, but this is going to be my starter dueling build for the day that that update hits until I get into better gear. But this is pretty much the best setup that I've been able to come up with for dueling. A lot of people are basically running this setup, but I'm going to give you guys just a overall rundown for it. It's a Redguard Stamina Sorcerer build. It's running dual wield and bow. I know it's interesting, but it works really well. You can also run sword and shield bow. You can run sword and shield 2H. You can run 2H bow. You can mix and match whatever you want when it comes to this dueling build. It works pretty well, though. I'm really liking dual wield bow the most, but you must have the Werewolf Transformation in dueling situations, because some builds will be able to purge your dots, because this is a dot build, and some builds will be able to out heal your DPS because it's not straight up burst DPS. So you want to have that Werewolf Transformation just in case you get into a situation where somebody is out healing your dots. So unbuffed stats, we're at 37, almost 38k max stamina, 24.4k maximum health, 14k maximum magicka. You want to run tri-stat food with this build. Some people run double stat, which is health and stamina, but run tri-stat food because you're going to need the maximum magicka inside of your Werewolf Transformation. You also use maximum magicka for resource management through Dark Dill. Maximum stamina is 856. Magical recovery is 677. Don't worry about that. I'll show you how you'll be recovering your resources. We have 42.4% weapon critical. We are in heavy armor, so our base spell resistance is 18k, and our physical resistance is also 18k. That goes higher. We have ability buffs to get that higher. We get about 25k physical and spell resistance, and then over 33k inside of our Werewolf Transformation. Our Werewolf Transformation also takes our maximum stamina up to 47, almost 48k. It gives us better stamina recovery, and it also gives us increased weapon damage. You get about 4k weapon damage inside of your Werewolf Transformation. You also get it close to 4k weapon damage outside of your Werewolf Transformation with this build also, which is really good. Onto the gear sets, we're running 5 pieces of Black Rose. I didn't make it gold yet because I might possibly get into a better build next patch. But Black Rose is really good right now. We're running 3 agility, all robust agility with weapon damage enchants on all your accessories. Bow, Maelstrom Bow is what I'm running. You can also run a Master's Bow if you have it, and then Maelstrom Daggers. Maelstrom Dagger or Maelstrom Axe is what I'm running. Preferably 1-in-1. Go 1 dagger, 1 axe. For the trait, you can go Sharpen, you can go Precise, you can go Defending. It really doesn't matter, man. If you have the Maelstrom weapons, you're good to go. So don't worry too much about the traits. And then we're also running 2 Engine Guardians. So right now we are running 6 pieces of heavy and then 1 medium. You don't really want to run 5-1-1 with the heavy armor setup. It's better to go either 6-1 or 7-1 or 7 heavy, because of the heavy armor constitution passive. That increases based on how many pieces of heavy you're wearing. So with 6 heavy, we get 1562 magicka and stamina back every 4 seconds while in combat, while we're taking damage. So that helps. Also, the Redguard passive, Adrenaline Rush, is key to this build as well, because while you're doing damage and taking damage, you're getting your resources back. So don't really pay too much attention to the low stamina recovery. You actually have a lot of stamina recovery. And then if you ever get low, you can always go to your Dark Dill, which is going to give you 5k stamina back and 8.8k health, which is about 5k health as well, with the nerf to healing and Serra PvP. So on our number 1 bar, which is our bow bar, we have Draining Shot. This is for dueling. Now, you could change your abilities up for open world if you want, but this is my dueling setup. So we're running Draining Shot. This is to replace basically Raleigh. Because you're not running a 2H, you want to have as much healing as possible, and you want to have burst healing. So if you get low, not only does this CC your target, but this also gives you a huge heal, which is 9,484. It's a huge heal. It's really, really good. And it does a little bit of damage as well as CCM. And it doesn't cost that much stamina either. Streak, this is for creating distance. A lot of the times with this build, you want to kite, whether it's using Trap Beast. I do have Trap Beast on my overload bar, or whether it's using Caltrops, because if you can create a little bit of distance, it buys you time to get your dark deals off. As long as you can get your dark deals off, you will never run out of resources with this build. So the key to this build is keeping distance, applying pressure when you can, and also hard CC and a lot of healing stacked up. You have to really play this build properly, because if you make a mistake, you'll go down. Shuffle, this is going to give you major evasion. Of course, you want to have Shuffle on any stamina build. It also removes snares. And then Resolving Vigor, this is also a heal. It's an AoE heal, but in a dueling situation, you want to just heal yourself. This is a part of your healing. And then Dark Deal, this is for resource management, and it also heals. And then on our Overload, for Overload, we're running, we have Daedric Minefield, Caltrops, Trap Beast. You want to get Rearming Trap, or you want to morph it. Mine isn't ready to morph yet, so I don't have a morph. Vigor, just in case you get in trouble. And then Rune Prison. Now, Rune Prison is key because it's a hard CC that can't be blocked. It's a disorient, and you can do DPS to people without knocking them out of the disorient if you're using dots. So if you're using Flurry, which this build is using, you'll be able to DPS people if they don't CC break your Rune Cage, or if they're out of resources. So that's really good. So that's how our overload bar is set up. Trap Beast, you want to keep this up a lot. Sometimes when I'm dueling, I actually slot Trap Beast on my dual wheel bar instead of Still Tornado, but that's up to you. I have this because I run this setup open world as well. So Bloodthirst. Bloodthirst is really good. It's one of your main DPS abilities. It's going to give you a heal as well. So this build is stacking a lot of healing, because you need to be able to apply pressure without worrying about dying. So you have a lot of heals at your disposal. Blood Craze, this is another dot. It does a lot of damage, and it also heals you. Still Tornado, you can slot this out with Trap Beast if you want. That really helps a lot. Crit Surge, this is going to give you major brutality, and it's also going to give you healing. Like I said, you're stacking a lot of heals. Thundering Presence, or Hurricane I should say, is going to give you that armor buff that you need. So it's also going to do a AoE dot, and it's also going to increase your movement speed slightly by 10%. The damage on this dot is really good, and then the mitigation that you get from it is really good. So let's look at our stats. Fully buffed. So fully buffed, we're at 3.3k weapon damage, and then 42.4% weapon crit with 700 stamina recovery. Like I said, this is heavy armor, so those stats are going to go a lot higher in heavy armor because of the Wrath passive, which gives you weapon and spell damage for 6 seconds when you take damage, stacking up to 10 times. So this gives you a lot of weapon and spell damage. Also, you have to master your Werewolf Transformation. This is a key part to your build. You get people low with dots. You buff up. You put as many dots on them as possible. Get your Caltrops down. Make sure your Crit Surge is up. Make sure your Hurricane is up. You go into your Werewolf Transformation, and you get insane stats. So just make sure you're always buffed up when you go into your Werewolf Transformation. And then, of course, you want to use all your abilities. But I have Claws of Anguish, Feral Pounce, Howl of Agony, Hircine's Rage, and Rousing Roar. These are the stats. 3.5k. That's without taking a heavy armor, so it goes up to 4k. 37.4% crit. 47k maximum stamina, and 700 stamina recovery. So you get really high stats, and you can keep those stats high by keeping your roars up. That's 3.8k weapon damage now, and that's without being attacked. That goes up well over 4k, guys. So keep that in mind. And that's our werewolf bar, and that's pretty much it on the build. I'm going to be doing a detailed champion tree setup for you guys, because champion points are very important to this build. But I'm going to do a separate build or a separate video specifically to go over champion points as a stamina build. So that's coming soon. I'm also going to update the build after the patch hits. Currently, this is what I'm running. Like I said, you can change out the weapons if you want. I'm going to update the build after the patch hits and we see some of the new sets. But this is currently what I'm running. It's very, very strong. It's very, very annoying to fight. It's very, very hard to beat. It's very, very hard to lose with this build. I've fought Stamina Sorcs. I've fought STAM DKs. I've fought Templars. I've fought everything. I fought Nightblades, Sword and Shield, 2H setups. I fought everything with this setup, dual wield bow, and I've been able to beat just about everything. So this build is really solid now, and this is going to get you guys going for update 12. And I'll see you guys twitch.tv/KingRichard15 for update 12 PTS testing. I'm out of here.